I get tired of the yo-yo role of good and evil that I'm being strung along. You're standing in my way once again.
Хасханданску таё, восхнуит, Харкивансхерм, Бурвенск, Матрасио.
Now on to tonight's topic, biblically correct entities. First, I have to say that unfortunately, due to too many scenarios of seemingly crying wolf, I will not be taking any more requests, summons or otherwise, on the issue of climate change. Time and again, I find myself answering the call for help to a geological or astrological disaster, only to find that it suspiciously recedes as if it was just to draw me out into the public so that I might be scrutinized and persecuted by the world. For example, your issues with the sun. I hear of your problems and set myself to handle the situation. I pool together the resources to fix it and find it receding when I approach the problem with everyone that was calling for my help say don't worry, it's in remission. It isn't that bad of a problem, this issue with the volcanoes for one. I followed the signs and warnings of those who had faced these problems before, and the scenarios are not occurring both as our technology is predicting or as our records warn us of. Once or twice I can expect as being a random anomaly, but repetitiously know that is not normal and seems more intentional, putting my supernatural abilities aside and just approaching the problem with logic. This sonic manipulation using this technology for a weaponized purpose, the way the world seems to slowly being forced into agreeing and siding with them. Even Iran has seemingly walked into lay amidst the serpents. Be careful, you should not step into a viper's den without being invited to dinner first. This is the moment when I am supposed to give to your two countries this prophecy. The prophecy of Balthazar, a priest once during the time of Ramses and was there for the plagues of Egypt.
Every guest who sat at his table and ate from his food and drank from his wine stood stunned as their host announced his true intentions and that all they had consumed was poisoned. Then their host exclaimed over the shouts for his head that only those who had drank from the cup of power that fuel the might of, those who clamor at their kingdom's gates to lay siege against them, only those who drank from his wisdom and committed to memory the means in which to become the sinful heathens they have now become, only they have tasted of the poison that tainted their meal. And he assured the rest of the guests to relax and go about their business. The banquet of the silver-tongued devil had revealed itself to be an invitation to death for those most deserving of it. All hail the wisdom of the beast. Is there no power greater than his that walks this earth? Yes, there is. The source from which his cups were filled held a greater power than the beast. And lo, I beheld upon the silver chalice the symbol of the kingdom of the black sun, whose kingdom fell long ago before the floodwaters rushed over their earth and swallowed them whole. How could this be? No one knew these symbols as they have not been seen on earth in over 1.5 epochs. Then the host looked directly at me and said, almost climbing over the table to emphasize his words, he said next that sent chills down my spine. He said, I told you I would return and so I have. Laughter filled the suddenly empty halls as all their guests who were the kings of the world had vanished, but still I hear that laughter echoing down the hall. Even as I awoke from my vision, still I swore I could hear him laughing.
Now, though there is plenty of evidence that would point towards you two as guilty, there is the aspect of these UFOs that everyone is trying to brush off on being one of your secret projects or the US governments, but I highly doubt that. The maneuvers and technology being displayed in these incidents is too far advanced. Looking at this scenario not with the eyes of a man but with divine sight, I see a path before us here that begins by asking you, Mr. Putin, why did you not step in and accept your role of responsibility in the Singapore bombing of the UN military intelligence headquarters back in 2003? I think it was. Why did you step aside and remain silent as they tried to pin China as being responsible for that, which for years they assumed it was the truth? You seem to have a history of leaving your allies to burn for your deeds.
So you seek to do to me as you did my son. How mundane and devoid of imagination. You see, that is what can set humanity's actions apart from the rest of the universe is the flair, the dramatic bravado that goes into everything you do. Other species of life out there do not experience the emotional draw towards taking action because they are not carbon-based life that is fueled by neurochemical stimulations. They can, however, experience what we define as emotion, but many of them would have to understand what they are first before recognizing their effects to realize that emotions are a basic, fundamental aspect of life itself. To live means that you are a solid matter object within existence that possesses individuality, or are aware of yourself and that which is around you. In philosophical terms, a rock is just a rock unless the rock is aware of itself. Then we would call it a rock-like thing. But until it is able to realize that it is a rock, then a rock it shall remain. It is only when that awareness is present will life begin to evolve from there. Once aware of itself, it will become aware of its needs to sustain itself and develop survival instincts or automated response patterns to common everyday problems.
The Lord had said that we seven are to ignore all vows and promises made by mouth to achieve this goal as the seven. That goes for all of us, and it will be that way until the day of judgment. Stand not in my way, thing of iniquity, no deviation from my path. Yet I cannot help but feel we are all being used in a distraction while some impostor is positioning himself into some one place of authority, a false prophet.
Once again, just as with Satan, I noticed the one major obstacle that was orchestrating his death was a female figure. With them it was a soothsayer. With you it is this Pistis Sophia, the matron goddess of Sparta. With me it is Lilith. With Zeus it was Aphrodite. It goes on and on, but who is behind this?
I notice a trail leading to the belief in the Kundalini mantra, another feminist claim to the position of power over men secretly coveting and consumed in a warped desire for power. What power? The divine spark. You fail to realize that no one else can wield this power, this position as the inertia of existence, than me. You think you can take my position in this, perform my purpose, and then walk away with the power in your possession. That's not how it works. Only I, his incorruptible vessel whom he chose for whatever reasons they were, can achieve this destiny, and once it was done, so too did my ability and position to wield such power end. I served a purpose as a vessel, nothing more.
But Lucifer didn't. You asked for forgiveness and truly sought redemption and asked for salvation from sins you even may not have been aware of. And so forgiveness was given, in this aspect as well. You're not condemned, plus you still live, so you still have time to atone for your sins.
Come up here, my angel. Though I am pleased by many of your deeds displayed through your stories, there are things which I detest. The selling of souls is a loathsome ideal, designed by evil men who stole a good concept, which you have proven that it has its purpose in the right hands, but they made it into what it has become today. I used your prayer that was true to its words and meaning as you selflessly asked before all to see, before the scrutiny of the disbelievers, to deliver them all from the oppression of your rulers. You asked to succeed in your endeavors, and I told you that the path before you would only lead to violence. You said you had a plan that would lead to the least amount of casualties, and so I agreed to help as long as no one got killed. That if anyone was killed in this, that you would bear the price of sin for the murders committed.
But Lord, I was never in control of this scenario. I was never held at the lead of what was occurring, not even the rumor. Just sarcastic remarks of some nut job is all they believed.
You never asked to be at the lead of this movement. You asked to be acknowledged as the source of this, destabilizing them, their power and control over those in your lands, and so I delivered. You asked that you succeed in this endeavor, and so you have. You never asked to be at the head of this. I have considered what to do about this. I think your services as I have sent you to perform is ample retribution for your debt owed. I do not enjoy doing this, but the integrity of—
Hold on, reverse that. What did you just say? That explains everything now. So this is the accumulation of lies that you would convince them all for, to make this Frankenstein's monster of a patchwork imitation of authority about my own. You underestimate the spirit of rebellion, my amigo. Let's dance.
Enough. I'm free of your trap, Alistair. Time to die. Welcome to my world, bitch.
my companion, the Wanderer, Talrasha, and a great evil who could only be the Lord of Hatred himself, Mephisto.
My brothers, at long last we stand reunited. The Infernal Gate has been prepared, and the time of our final victory is at hand. Let the way to hell be opened. And the evil that was once vanquished shall rise anew. Wrapped in the guise of man, shall he walk amongst the innocent, and terror shall consume they that dwell upon the earth. The skies shall rain fire, and the seas will become as blood. The righteous shall fall before the wicked, and all creation shall tremble before the burning standards of hell.
What I saw then was not meant for mortal eyes.
The gate stands ready. Now, my young brother, the time has come to assume your true form. Arise, Diablo, Lord of Terror. Send forth your terror into hell.
Personal Medical Journal, Professor Lucifer B. M. 1402, the 10th of October 2022. Project Dark Eon, Subject 0 seems to be getting oriented quite easily. His evolutionary cellular mitosis rate and metabolism is astounding. It's as if it is writing the coded genetic format sequences as it goes. It definitely is not a human-conceived project design as my handlers would leave me to think. I mean, it combined human DNA along with 2 other alien species DNA as well as some animal chromosomes for a protective support cell's membrane capable of healing the damage done in order to splice it. I am not allowed to know very much about this project as it is being kept very hush-hush, but I heard some of the other biophysicists talking about how the initial phase went along smoothly despite the multiple attempts to stop them. They never had a clue as to the true purpose of the coronavirus being a bioweapons project. Though the implications are astounding, do the ends justify the means? Do all those deaths seem justified in the pursuit of science? If their experiment was supposed to produce a cure to the world's diseases, then why is this monstrosity here as a byproduct? It looks like someone went and took the nightmare from Hollywood right off the movie screen and brought it into the real world, especially its rapid metabolic rate that requires it to consume large amounts of muscle fibers to sustain itself.